I know my head got bounties, they hunting for them in counties.
What's up, y'all?
Said I was lost, so they found me. In baptism, they tried to drown me. Oh, y'all old-fashioned, y'all don't want to use lead, huh? The accusers came for Yahshua singing red rum. I sing hallelujah to Yahuwah, that's an anthem. I got a calling on my life like it's a Samsung. My hair swinging wild in the air like I'm Samsung. I remain a steward of the word. I've been prudent from the curb. I see damning at the viewing at the church. Laid up like it's you ain't over word. Blood of the Messiah, it's salvation and new birth. Blessed to be in the bloodline, but without the blood I'm dirt. Living water, that's an elixir, obey your thirst. Brick and mortar, that's a religion, that ain't the church. Rainbows reflecting the prism above the earth, and that one's for Noah, not a perverted sexual urge. Every time I pray, it's a feeling of being searched. Faith is nothing if I ain't willing to do the work. My people were blessed, but we slipped up and caught a curse.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Melinda, Anthem, Kaia? Oh, my bad.
Blood on top of the doorpost.
This is Eshawn Burgundy.
Over my former life, Casanova on water like Captain Noah headed to the shore. My body is the temple, just know he the door. The law ain't no salvation issue, it's just gonna keep me pure.
Jahan, what's up?
That's what's gonna keep me
this is Eshawn Burgundy.
Checking me gonna make me stay the course. Scripture is my weaponry, that sword go through your heart. Flame my toes running through the dark. Evil boy still pressing toward the mark.
Hold on 1 second, IG, hold on.
Simon with the blade, now I wanna talk. Royalty, I'm cut from designer cloth. America foiled me, be trying to pull me off. Christ was sent to the lost, that's what the words say. And you can't be lost if you wasn't his in the first place.
Analysis, I took the blood into a laboratory in Israel. I just said, please examine this blood and tell me what you can tell me about it. All right? They said, well, look, we're going to reconstitute it. We're going to put it in normal saline.
What's up, Kenya?
And keep it at body temperature for 72 hours with gentle swirling. All right, that's their business. That's great. I said, now I want to be there when you check it out. They said, fine. They said, it's human blood. We can tell that. And then I said, take some of the white blood cells and put them in a growth medium. Keep them at body temperature for 48 hours. And they said, well, that'll do no good because it's dead blood. I said, would you please do that for me? And they said, okay, we'll do it. So anyway, I said, I want to be there when you take it out and examine it. So I was back there. They took it out, examined it under a microscope, and the one technician called the other one over there, and then they called the boss over there, and they were talking Hebrew a minute there for a little bit, and they looked at me and they said, Mr. White, this human blood only has 24 chromosomes in it. Everybody else has 46. You see, 23 from your mother, 23 from your father, 22 autosomes from your mother, 22 autosomes from your father. You get an X from your mother, you may get an X or Y from your father. All right. This blood had 23 chromosomes from the mother's side, one Y chromosome only. You see, the child could not have developed if they hadn't had the autosomes from the mother. So all of his physical characteristics were determined by his mother's side of the family, her autosomes. His maleness was determined by this one Y that came from the source, not a human male. Then they said, this blood is alive. said, whose blood is this? I said, it's the blood of your Messiah.
There's a person on Instagram named The Real ISO, and he said something profound. He said that the reason why blood is important is because the blood carries God's voice, so to speak, like the Spirit of God. You know, if God breathed his breath into Adam, then blood is what carries the oxygen. So actually, blood is the life force because the blood carries life. That's why blood is important. I believe that when Christ died on the cross, Christ, blood was shed, and that actually released, God into the earth, establishing a new covenant. So the Spirit of God was released when his blood was shed. If that makes sense. If you think about blood carrying oxygen, the blood is released, and then it's for everybody now. We talked about the chosen people ruining the covenant. They chose to dishonor the covenant. God never broke the covenant. The chosen people did when they killed the Messiah. That's what nullified the old covenant. That's why we have a new covenant, because they voided the contract. But today, what's up, y'all? Chuck, Sheba, Jahan, thank you so much. Kenya, everybody, Sister Crystal, everybody on IG. Today, I want to talk about, I have on Instagram, it's the thing that says blackness is white supremacy. And if you think about it, the term white supremacy is used to say that it's an oppressive system that's in place and is keeping black people down or keeping black people back. You think about it. The whole premise of white supremacy is holding black people down. The reason why I say blackness is white supremacy is because what folks are saying white supremacy is actually what blackness is. If you think about what blackness entails, it actually does what folks claim white supremacy does, which is hold black people back. I was talking with some people yesterday, and I had an epiphany. And the epiphany was, in the subconscious of most black people, they believe that white people have gotten away with something. So the media makes you believe that every white person is successful, every white person has privilege, every white person is rich, every white person is living their best life. This is what the media does. So the media reinforces a subconscious narrative in that white people are getting away with something they did that was wrong to black people. Now, the double-mindedness comes in because it says that if God isn't judging white people, then how could God judge me? Just think for this for a second. In the black person's subconscious, they're thinking, if God isn't judging white people, then how in the world could God judge me? So what happens is, now when you hear somebody say, but white people, that's at the core of it. And the reason why they're saying but white people is because they're like, white people have not been brought to justice. Therefore, if they have not been brought to justice, then how can I be brought to justice? That's why if you listen to the complaints of black people, it's never really about a solution. It's really only about white people either being held accountable or black people being able to do what white folks are doing. One of the two. But it comes from the notion that black people don't think that white people are suffering any kind of consequence. Now, I would never say that one group is getting one or the other. I'm gonna simply say that black people, when we think about white folk, we think about white people collectively. We think about white people as a monolith, meaning that one white person is all white people, and all white people is one white person. The same thing that we don't want to be labeled as, we do to white people. So when Trump came on the scene, Trump embodied all white people. And the only way you could not be a part of Trump is to literally kiss the feet of black people. You literally had to kiss the feet of black people to not be, I guess, a Trump supporter, whatever. Hope this is making sense. Let me go to some, because I got some badges up here, some stickers. Thank you, Sneakerhead, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I got you, Chuck, on the shirts. I got you. What's up, The Ice Cold Wolf, Sheba? But, so if you think about it, from a religious standpoint or a spiritual standpoint, the average black person believes they're good by default. Because the comparison is white people. And it's not necessarily white people. I thought that black people was making white people their God. That's not what they're doing. What black folks are doing is black folks are saying God can't deal with us before he deals with them. So until he deals with them, we can't be held accountable. That's at the core of what black folks are thinking. That. Because I'm listening to people talking, I'm like, you know what? There's this big thing with no accountability. And when you keep talking to them long enough, you get to the core of it, they're going to say, white people get to do this or white people have done this. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it is. You think that white people have gotten away with something or they're not being judged. Therefore, you don't have to get judged. Here goes a news flash though. Every individual person goes through ups and downs in their lives. Everybody has good days and bad days. It's not based on race. What the media and propaganda is doing is making you believe that white people have a perfect existence and their only blemish is racism towards black people. This is the overall narrative of this whole race thing. White people have a perfect life. Their only blemish is what they did to racism, to black people. So I brought some videos and I want to talk about some of this psychology and how this psychology creeps in to pretty much everything. Stupid way of thinking. I know it is double-minded. I know it is. But you think about it though, this is why black folks always bring up white people because they feel like they have gotten away with it. This is why criminal justice is so big for us, for black people because they feel like white people are getting off. I'm like, if you go to prison, white folks are in prison. White folks are in the jail. But what's the irony is they make you believe there are any Mexicans and Hispanics in prison, any whites in prison, any Asians in prison. They make you believe it's just only one group of people in prison. It's just a lie. It's not true. It's not true at all. King Tabernacle, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it so much, but y'all showing so much love, man. Y'all showing so much love. But I believe in us being empowered. And the Bible says that we are made in God's image. And if we're made in God's image, then any other identification is going to be of the world and of Satan. I just want to read the right scripture. So what the devil did was, again, the enemy is very clever. What the devil did was the devil said, I have to get these people to not believe in God. I got to get these people to not what? Obey God. I got to get these people, to disobey God. So what the devil did was he went the back way. He got people to be a color, in this case black. Then the focus is on what happens to black. Either we're going to worship black or we're going to compare black to white. Either way, God's out of the equation. Again, the enemy is very, very clever. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female, he created he them. So that means that men and women are made in God's image. So any other thing that's not of God is going to be a false image. We've already established that my t-shirt is black, my skin is brown. So there's already double-mindedness, there's already deception, there's already illusion, all this is taking place just off an identification. So once you establish that you're black, everything else is pretty much going to be uphill for the rest of your life because it's a false construct. It's not true. But everything around you operates in truth. Everything around you, everything that God created operates in truth. This is why they're trying to manipulate everything with technology to get rid of the truth. Think about it. It's not coincidental that there's a technological push and a subversion of the truth at the same time. You got the fourth industrial revolution simultaneously with the subversion of truth. There's a reason, because you got to get rid of truth for this stuff to happen. As long as truth is here, people are going to naturally gravitate to the truth. It's inevitable. That's why most folks on their deathbed always spill their guts. Most folks on their deathbed tell you all the truth, because you're only just running from the truth. Everybody knows what the truth is. They're just running from it. Everybody knows. They just either run from it or they accept it. My advice to anybody is accept the truth as early as possible to save yourself some time and heartache and pain. But so we are created in God's image. And the devil is like, okay, you're created in God's image, but God created you like this. So God made you black. So now that you're black, it's a whole separate level of existence. But the main fundamental tenet of being black is you don't have to be accountable. Why? Because white people have done you wrong and they're getting away with it. That's why all this talk is about the wealth gap, racial disparities, equity, equality, systemic racism, all of this stuff. The foundation of it is white people are getting away with it and we're suffering. That's the whole premise of it. So in the back of most black folks' mind is, how can God judge me if God ain't judging them? There was an old song used to say, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. So what you got black folks doing is, if black folks is worrying about what white folks is doing, black folks worrying about whether or not white folks getting their just dues. This is in the subconscious of most black people. Thank you, DB, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. And what makes someone say they aren't getting their just dues is pride. Because in reality, you should be focused on you and your relationship with God. I was talking with some people yesterday, and one guy says, and I said, we believe that we got to be 10 times something to succeed in this world. And he said, that's true. I said, well, how is that true when you know a bunch of black people that don't do nothing and succeed? You know a bunch of black folks in this world that don't put half the effort y'all put in and they're getting success out of it. So it's not a true statement. What they did was, this whole push is, we have to make white people accountable. And guess what? If God's not going to do it, think about this now, the psychology. If God is not going to hold white people accountable, then who will? Because that's what we're going to serve. If God is not going to hold white people accountable, who is? Because that's who we're going to serve. Now, who do you think is going to hold white people accountable? Who do y'all think is going to hold white people accountable? Who has almost 100% allegiance to a party? And what party is that? You see, black people have abandoned God for the Democratic Party. Because the Democratic Party tells them, we're going to do the one thing that God's not going to do. We're going to hold white folks accountable. This is why black people support the Democrats at almost 100%. Because the Democrats have the one thing that, quote unquote, God isn't doing, holding the white man accountable. At the core of all of this is what it is. So the Democrats' whole rhetoric is, we're going to hold white people accountable. We're not going to help you all. We're just going to hold them accountable. And black folks say, that's good enough for me. I'll take that. Because God ain't doing it. So if God ain't doing it, then guess what we going to do? We're going to serve the false idol. I liken this to back in the day, the mascot for Democrats is a donkey. I imagine back in the day it would have been a golden donkey. It would have been a golden donkey. Thank you, Sheba. You see, this is not really about politics. It's spiritual. It's not really about voting or politics. It's spiritual. It's a spiritual battle because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual battle. This whole race thing is spiritual. Because if a person truly believed in God, I mean truly, there's no way they would think that God couldn't defeat racism, at least in their own life. Maybe not for everybody else, but at least for the person that believed. I'm gonna get into these videos, but I just wanted to make the point that black people, by and large, go to the Democrats because the Democrats are doing what God is refusing to do. This is how the Democrats get into the black church. This is how the Democrats are all on. This is how Democrats run mainstream media. Democrats run Hollywood. The Democratic ideology is everywhere around us. In the television shows, in the movies, in the sports, in the churches, in the social arenas. The Democratic mindset and ideology is everywhere. So now if you think about it, the Republican Party is actually a political party. The Democratic Party is a religion. Because what the Democrats base everything on is from a spiritual aspect. We're going to free you. We're going to save you. So now if a Democratic Party has a candidate, that candidate is always seen as a mini Messiah. That's why these candidates never have to actually do anything because they already represent a savior. So Joe Biden, by default, he represented a savior. He even said, I'm coming for the soul. I'm gonna save the soul of America. He even ran his campaign on the soul of America. So even in his existence, he was a Messiah-like figure. This is what all Democrats do. They make their candidates like messiahs. We're coming to save. And since God ain't gonna save us, because white folks are still walking around with a smile on their face, we'll go to the Democrats. Because the Democrats at least get the Republicans and conservatives upset. We can at least see them getting visibly upset at what they're doing. And this justifies everything. Black folks seeing conservative whites get upset and Republicans get upset makes them believe the Democrats doing the right thing. This is the fundamental process when it comes to this whole race thing, is that God is not holding white folks accountable. Patrick Point, thank you so much for the super sticker. Let's go to some of these videos. No, humanity cannot save themselves. If we could, we would have did it. See, this is the misconception. If I have the answers, it ain't gonna work. If you have the answers, it's not gonna work. If we have the solution, it will never work. The only thing that works is what God has in place. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The way, the truth, and the life. Now the enemy comes to do what? Steal, kill, destroy. The way, the truth, the life. Steal, kill, destroy. How does the Messiah and Satan have three strong pillars? Way, truth, life, steal, kill, destroy. Those three things oppose each other. But no, we can't save ourselves. Because if we could save ourselves, we would already save ourselves. We would already did it. Can't do it. Can't do it. But let's go to some of these videos. I want to start off with it's a Chato clip, and you know what? I can play it on here.
Secure power for themselves. The reason why most of us don't really see it that way.
Why most of us think, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory, that will never happen, is because we're conditioned to think of things in those terms. Think about every superhero movie you've seen. There's a clear villain and there's a clear hero. Now, what are the characteristics of the villain as they're displayed in the movies that you watch? They are very obviously evil. They wear some hideous, ridiculous outfit. They are socially weird. And so they're easy to spot. But that's not the way it works in reality. The way it works in reality is that many of the villains come off as amiable. They pretend to be your friend. You look at the organization of Black Lives Matter, you follow the money, what you'll find is that it's funded by the likes of George Soros. So what am I trying to say? If George Soros is the villain, he's not going to put on a hideous costume. He's not going to use his money to build these kind of apparatuses, these kind of gadgets where he appears in the night sky of New York City, shooting laser beams at the high rises, destroying the city and reaping havoc on society. No, that's not the way that it works. That's the way it works in movies, but that's not the way that it works in reality. The way that it works in reality is that you fund social justice movements, because social justice movements have the power to emotionalize the public into ushering in their own demise. They have an agenda, and their agenda is globalism. Their agenda is to secure power.
Now, I want you to think about what he just said and what I said about the Democratic Party being a religion, and about how when they have a candidate, that candidate is a Messiah. If you think about it, as it stands right now, black people are conditioned to only accept a black person that is a Democrat. Think about that. If a black person is not a Democrat, if they say that I'm a Republican or a conservative, then they can't even be, they can't lead black people. So that means at this stage in the game, black people will only accept leadership from the Democrats. At this stage in the game, black people will only accept leadership from a Democrat. It doesn't matter if they vote or not. It doesn't matter, because everything that's a part of black culture is democratic. A part of black culture is the Democratic Party. This is why we said that Clinton was what? The first black president. So the Democratic Party is a part of black culture, modern black culture. And black folks will only accept a black person if that black person is a Democrat. Now imagine how dangerous that is. That means there could be a candidate that is black that will do everything good for black people and they will not accept that candidate. This is how much infiltration the Democratic Party has, but it's because it's a religion. As I've said before, the Democratic Party will do what God won't do. That is judge white people. So even if a black person doesn't vote, 40% of black folks don't vote. Out of that 40%, 90-some% of them still have a Democratic mindset and ideology. They still follow what Democrats want on a social level. So somebody said the Democratic Party, it is a false god. That's why the party itself doesn't have to actually have any tangibles, because it's like a religion. When you go to church, the pastor ain't got to actually show you nothing. The pastor can just talk. Pastor ain't got to show you nothing. Think about it. I couldn't imagine back in the biblical days, if a person was preaching, they probably had to perform some kind of miracle. At least cast out a demon. Do some kind of miracle just to get the folks to listen to you back in the day. Now, pastor can be online preaching. A pastor can wake up out of bed, wipe the crust out of their eyes, set their camera up and give a whole sermon. That's how low the standard is for a pastor. The standard for a pastor is so low now that most pastors just get their talking points from CNN and social media. We just saw the guy pray on TV, right? He prayed for the young man that plays for the Buffalo Bills. Now, how do you say a prayer on national television and nobody's offended? How do you say a prayer on national television and nobody's offended? Right. They made a messiah out of Obama. Obama really won because he represented Jesus. That's what really made, because everybody said he was the first black president, but really he was the first visual messiah. Because black folks have been looking for a messiah for a while. And they got just what they wanted to. They got it articulate, polished. He had a black wife that was dark skinned, 2 daughters, dog. He smoked cigarettes, smoked weed, played basketball. Everything that black folks love. Knew when to put the slang on, knew when to take it off, knew how to shake the black guys, and then shake the white guys' hands. He knew all that. Know how to walk cool. Know how to do this and fake cry. Trayvon could have been my son. All that. Black folks ate it up. Black folks ate it up. Because again, it's a religion. Forget voting. It's a religion. This is why most pastors are Democrats. Most black pastors are Democrats. Right. So this guy says his prayer, and I know I worked in television. They asked him, what was he going to pray about? He had to tell them and show them, I'm going to say these words. That prayer was not a freestyle. Trust me. I work in the business. The prayer wasn't a freestyle. It was scripted. That's why I made my video with the voice of God. Well, I try to be the voice of God. Someone said I sound like the Wizard of Oz, but I try to sound like God, voicing over, telling him to say the truth. Tell the truth. There's no way you're going to be able to pray on national television and folks aren't offended. If you're really praying. There's no way they're going to let me get on TV and pray without cutting that feed. They're going to cut the feed. I'm praying for real. I'm praying for real. I bind all the evil spirits. I bind all the mRNA technology. I bind all of it. All the snake bites. All the mark of the beast. All the technology. Uh-oh. Adele having trouble walking. Try to tell y'all. You want to listen. Try to find the scripture. John 15 verse 18 says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. So if you're a believer, the world is going to hate you. Listen to me. They're not going to let me go on CNN and ESPN and pray. My prayer would have never made it on air. Because I would have said, I'm praying about this. And they would have said, He didn't say in Jesus' name. Did he? He didn't say Yeshua in Yeshua's name. It was a very generic, and we don't know what's going on, Lord. And we come, no. They should have cut the feet on your prayer. First thing you should have said was, we come to you, Heavenly Father, and we bind every demonic and satanic producer, every demonic and satanic owner of a network. Like, the prayer should have lasted 3-4 seconds. You got to set the room up for the prayer first. So you got to bind all them evil spirits. The woman down there said, I bind that Jezebel spirit. Point to the dude, I bind that heathen spirit. You gotta prepare the room for the prayer. You come in a simple little cookie cutter prayer. Nah, them folks should live out that room screaming and hollering. That's how you know it ain't real. I bind every adrenochrome drinker. I bind every baby eater. I bind every demonic force with an alien swimming in their body. Listen, you got to set the atmosphere for the prayer. That's all I'm saying. That prayer he did, man, that was some BS. That was some BS. That was some BS. John 15 verse 19, if ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So this is another scripture, and Christ is talking about the world hating you. Do you understand what that means? That means when you open your mouth, they don't like it. When you walk in the room, they don't like it. They don't feel comfortable. Oh man, here they go again. That's how folks should feel around you. Man, they tripping, they crazy. That's how folks should feel around you. It's funny that now they're praying on TV, but as the same sports journalists openly give their opinions on abortion rights, gay marriage, queer ideology, policing, and so forth. And then the second part is, and watch how godless and secular they get, right? I'm going to tell you what I know, right? Tell you what I know. I know that most people love Christianity because it's a soft version of the truth. Meaning, it ain't the truth at all. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Christianity says you can be a heathen, but if you get in front of a microphone and say, I want to give honor and glory to God, everything is absolved. That's Christianity. That's Christianity. That right there. That's Christianity. Once saved, always saved. So now, believers made Christianity a worldly religion. Because y'all should know that Christianity is the number one religion in the world. Right? Islam is second. And I think Judaism, I forgot which one is third. But my point is, if it was really a real thing, it wouldn't be that popular. If you really had to follow God's word, it wouldn't be that popular. It wouldn't be that popular. So we know, just based on the popularity, that it ain't real. I'm not saying the Bible's not real. I'm not saying that believers aren't real. I'm telling you what Christianity has become. Christianity is a way for the world to accept believers. So now a believer can get on TV and give a shallow prayer and everybody think he really said something and did something. I would open the prayer up and said, I bind every satanic bloodline family that is controlling this network. See how long I stay on TV. See how many folks close their eyes. I bind every satanic bloodline family that is running this network. See how many eyes open up then. See if they go to commercial then. Yeah, I want to pray for, we don't know what's going on, Lord, but we come. No, man. No. That ain't praying. You pontificating. You praying to God. God ain't picking that phone up for that mess. That phone ringing and ringing. But again, that's how it should be. There's no way in the world you have that big of a stage and you're able to pray for a minute and nobody get offended. You're able to pray for a whole minute on TV, which is a lifetime, and nobody get offended. They gave this man a minute straight. They gave this man a minute straight on national television and nobody was offended. How? I would have came on the show with the shirt on. They wouldn't let me on the show. I couldn't even have got on the set. Let's continue. Let's continue.
A little bit about this.
Okay, so this next video is going to be about beauty standards. And it's women talking about beauty, but when it gets to the black girl magic, I want y'all to listen to what she says. And I'm a firm believer in this, right? Beauty is not based on skin color at all. It's not based on skin color. It's not based on race. They done studies with babies, and babies respond better to good-looking people. All having good looks is facial symmetry. It's not because you got black features or don't have black features or white. It's not none of that stuff. It's facial symmetry. That's why most models don't look good. If you look at most models on the runway, you're like, how do they get to be on the runway? Because they have perfect facial symmetry. That's too much talking. Anyway, so this notion that black women aren't looked upon as beautiful is a lie. It's a lie. There are too many black baby mamas and too many black women having abortions to not be attractive. You can't have it both ways. You can't say nobody wants us, but yet we lead the nation in abortion and being single mothers. That's not how that works. So what I'm saying is this notion that black women are seen as beautiful is a lie. 85% of black men marry black women. 85% marry. 90-some% date and or have children with. So the majority of black men are with black women. The vast majority of black men are with black women. So the notion that black men don't want them is farce. So my question is, if the majority of your quote unquote race of men want you, then what are you seeking validation for? Oh, I get it. You want other races of men to desire you. But this all goes back to comparing yourself to white. And you told yourself that a white woman is desired by all races. But if you think about it though, beauty is not confined to a race. So good-looking women, there's women that are universally good-looking. That means they have universal appeal, not because of their race. It's a universal beauty. But the extremes of probably any race pretty much probably stays in their own race, if that makes sense. If you line up universally good-looking women, I bet they all look similar. If you line up universally good-looking women that we consider quote-unquote good-looking, universally meaning all races of men would want them, I guarantee no matter what race they were, they all look kind of similar. But my point is, this notion that black women aren't seen as beautiful or aren't desired is not true at all. You can name more black supermodels than you can white. You can name more black supermodels than you can white ones. Look how big a black supermodel gets. But let's just watch.
Got brought up at the beginning. How does that tie into femininity?
Sorry, I'm very into this idea.
We talked a little bit about this. Got brought up at the beginning. How does that tie into femininity?
Sorry, I'm very into this idea because I do think it is one of the larger intersections that just doesn't get very discussed, which is, like I was talking about before, barriers and friction are placed up around bodies. And the fatter I get, the older I get, the less people will listen to me, the less value I will have for society. So, I'm already starting out as a woman with no legs. If I had something on my face, I have my beauty. That's one of my privileges. I have my whiteness. That's one of my privileges. I used to have thinness, and now I'm getting fatter.
Now, let me give y'all context. This woman said her whiteness is a privilege, and she literally got no legs and about 4 fingers total. She got no legs, she's overweight, and she ain't got no fingers. And she talking about she got privilege. What? In what world? In what world? In what world does this woman with no fingers and no legs and overweight have a privilege? This is the psychology. She tells herself this so that she can absolve herself of being a genuinely good person. If I say I have white privilege, then I'm automatically a good person. That's how low the bar is. You don't have a privilege, man. You can't even grab a fork. You don't have a privilege. I'm sorry. Well, she can grab a fork with his other hand. But my point is, these ideologies, again, are ways to subvert themselves from having character. If it's about me being a woman, if it's about me being white and privileged, if it's about me being handicapped, no, sorry, what is it called? What's the new word? Ain't handicap, is what is it? If it's about me not having any legs, if it's about me being overweight, if it's about feminism, where does God fit into the equation? Where does God fit into the equation if it's about you being a woman, white, overweight, no fingers, no legs, feminist, social justice? Like, how could God fit into there if you're wearing 47 hats? This is the devil's trick. Got your mind going everywhere so you can't focus on God. But the fact that she says she's privileged should be an insult. No legs, no fingers, but telling a black person, I got a privilege over you, is an insult. All right, Chuck. All right, Chuck. Yo, able-bodied, okay. Able-bodied, okay.
Things are changing. And I think every single time that we talk about feminism, pretty privilege should be discussed, because we have these ideas. If your skin tone is this, if your hair is this, if your body looks like that, it's about whether or not you are given.
These are producers' reactions to the samples in the producer growth kit.
And an equal opportunity based on what you look like.
I saw a
I think a lot of times the women that complain about beauty standards don't complain about them when they got privilege, when they were young and attractive and thin. So it's like, yeah, you're complaining when the privilege is gone, but privilege is invisible to those who have it. And women, it's a privilege, and men don't turn 18 and get looks that we get.
As a black woman.
Now listen, I like Pearl, because Pearl, okay, I'm gonna say this, white women have to get a very sobering lesson in life. White women know, I love the sun, but it's going to cause me to age faster. White women understand this entire game. This is why white women were feminists. They gave it to black women and then left and got married. White women started feminism, gave it to black women, and then left and got married. What I'm saying is, white women have a very sobering existence. You talk to a white woman that's not a liberal, she pretty much got a sound basis on life. So you listen to Pearl talk. Pearl plays sports. Pearl had her dad in her life. She has her brothers. She has a very logical and accepted position in life. She says, I want to be married. I want to have children. I want to have a good life. I ain't the prettiest. I ain't the thinnest, but this is what I want. So I got to put my best foot forward to achieve this. I don't have time to live in an illusion. I don't have time to go with no false narratives. This is what it is. And Pearl got it hard. She tall, kind of big. I ain't saying she's kind of big. So she got things working against her in the quote unquote dating market. You 5'10" and up for a woman and you want a taller guy, your pool shrinks. This is what it is. But when she opens her mouth though, she's matter of fact. She's matter of fact about it. And I get it. I talk to white women and I realize because they age faster, they have to be more realistic about life. They don't have time to play. Black women age in reverse. So because they look good later, they feel like they have more time. They don't have more time. Nobody has more time. Nobody has more time. You got to maximize what you got right now at the moment. So these girls on here don't like Pearl. Maybe Propaganda Fluent does. She's in the crowd. And the girl from Canada. And the irony of this, hold on, I'm gonna let y'all watch it. Now here comes the black girl. Oh yeah, shout out to Propaganda Fluent. She's on here in the front row. Yeah, she's chill because again, she's accepted reality. I guarantee Pearl she gonna get married. Pearl gonna get married. Cause she's not stunting. She realized what it is. She said, I want a husband, I want a family. She gonna get married, watch. See, most of y'all women are not married because you really don't want to be married. You ain't made up in your mind that you actually want to be married. You just say it because it sounds good. You ain't really made it up in your mind that I actually want to be somebody's wife and a mother, have a family. Let's continue.
One of the
You get.
as a black woman, one of the most integral parts of the beauty conversation has been colorism. I'm a dark-skinned black woman, proud of it and proud of being myself. For the most part, I did not. Why am I going to cry about this? Mm-hmm. I did not grow up thinking I was beautiful because I was that. And I think in the black
So Propaganda Fluent touches her. It's okay, girl. Now listen, this girl went from saying, I'm proud to be black till I'm about to cry. Is she really proud to be black? She went from saying, I'm proud to be black till I'm about to cry. Is she really proud to be black? Can somebody help me out? She just said, colorism as a black woman, I'm proud of it. I'm about to cry. What I'm telling y'all is this stuff is not real. It's fake. You are beautiful because God made you, not because your skin color. Not because you black girl magic. Not because you a queen. And not because you slave. You're beautiful because God made you. And then when you recognize that God made you and that you have some worth and value to God, now you can proceed forward in life. You can't proceed forward in life with this kind of construct. It's dependent on your skin color. Oh, you saying it was It was edited. Well, I'm just saying, the first statements I heard was, black woman, proud to be black, and I'm about to cry. So hopefully it went in order, but all I'm saying is, you don't sound too proud to be black. If you was quote unquote proud to be black, you wouldn't even be concerned with white people. You wouldn't even care. But it's not real, because it's built on a false premise. We are beautiful because God made us. God took time to make us with detail. God said we are wonderfully and fearfully made. That's why we are beautiful, not because somebody said that we was black or wasn't black. Teach 'em Chuck says, Kenya Moore, former Miss America, I think she was, in her prime, was one of the most beautiful women in the world. I agree. Kenya, listen, I remember when I was young when I saw Kenya Moore. I said that she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. When I saw Kenya Moore when I was young, I said, I have never seen nothing more beautiful than that in my life. And she was quote unquote darker than this girl right here. But I told you all that it's not about skin color. There are such thing as universal beauty. If you line up women that are universally beautiful, they all look similar. And Kenya is much darker than her. The colorism argument doesn't work either. It doesn't work because beauty isn't confined to a color. Do you know how many... I remember when I was younger, right? White women, your skin is beautiful. Oh my goodness, your skin is beautiful. This is white women, your skin is beautiful. Girls used to tell me this though, your skin is beautiful. So I'm not trying to brag, I'm just saying it wasn't based on the color, it wasn't based on my skin because it was dark. It's just good looking skin is good looking skin. Good look like why we gotta, it is what it is. Why you think folks want to have a certain tan? I want to get dark. I want to do this. People do it. Even black girls do it. I want to tan. I want to get darker. This whole colorism thing is of Satan. It's Satan. A lot of black women say they are proud to be black, yet they put so much emphasis on skin color. Right. This girl broke down crying. Why am I going to cry? Because you know you don't believe it. You don't believe it. And it's sad that white folks didn't tell her this. I've never had a white person tell me I was ugly in my life. Even in school, talking back and forth, clowning, joning, whatever you want to say, bagging, capping, whatever you want to say. A white person has never called me ugly in my life. I've never heard a white person say, you're ugly, ever. Maybe y'all have, I haven't. So this whole notion that black women aren't seen as beautiful is just not true. Black women are the least likely to get picked in online dating. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because you go to a black woman's profile on a dating site, it screams black girl magic. It screams feminism. It screams slay queen. It screams foolishness. That's why. You go to a white girl's profile on dating, it's so simple. Hiking, biking, running, movies. Show her on the top of the mountain, show her in a canoe, show her with a bow and arrow, and show her painting a picture. Simple. Go compare a white woman's profile to a black woman's profile. And it's the black woman's profile is Kamala Harris, Lizzo, Cardi B, and Meg Thee Stallion wrapped in a profile. That's what it looks like. One girl said, I don't care about she said, is the glass half empty? Is the glass half full? I don't care. Just drink what's in the glass. You think a man finna pick that? You think a man finna pick a woman saying, I don't care if the glass is half full or half empty, just drink what's in the glass. That's why black women don't get picked. It is not because they're not attractive. It is not because they're not desired. You go to these women's profile, and it might as well be Kamala Harris on there. It might as well be Lizzo. It might as well be Glorilla. Listen, my boy showed me all these dating sites, and I'm like, and honestly, another tip too, I'm gonna tell y'all ladies, don't let your profile be your resting bee face. I don't know who told y'all that. That ain't cute. When y'all looking in the camera and you ain't smiling. I don't know. I'm like, who would make this their profile pic? This is crazy. Who is coaching y'all on these dating profiles? You on the profile pic looking like this in a b-boy stand. Look, she on a profile pic like this. What man gonna pick you? She like this in the profile pic. What man is gonna pick you? Now y'all ain't finna get picked in online dating. There ain't no way. So again, it's not about y'all not being attractive. It's about what's on your profile. And if he's a smart man, if he's a prudent man, if he's a wise man, he's going to read your profile. He's going to go through your pictures. So if you show him where you in the club, you on vacation, endless mimosas, he ain't going to pick you. Not no white guy, not no Asian guy, not no Hispanic guy. You got endless mimosas. You got that raggedy Jamaican beach picture. You got that raggedy club picture. You ain't got no working out pictures. None where you cooking something. None where you being domestic. You are out in the world in the profile. Ain't no man finna pick you. I'm sorry. So dear black women, get rid of the black girl magic off your profile. And I guarantee some man gonna pick you. Y'all be having all the stats. Educated. Drink. What you have? You have drink socially. Want children. Want to be married. All that. But when I start reading through your profile, it sounds crazy. Your quote on there is, you only live once. You think a man finna invest in a woman talking about YOLO? You think he finna invest his life in a woman talking about YOLO? Man. So anyway, that's why y'all ain't getting picked. Nothing to do with your beauty. Nothing to do with your beauty. So when your profile pic looks crazy, you're not getting picked. So dear black women, that duck face look, all that silly stuff, other men don't like that. Other races of men do not know what that even is. Black men tolerate it. Other races of men ain't gonna tolerate it. So your face look crazy, he gonna think something wrong with you. He gonna think, did she have a stroke? He gonna think something wrong with you. So my advice is, put your best foot forward. Say you like poetry, you like reading, you like riding bikes, you like hiking. Say something like that. Go look at the white women's profiles, the Asian women, Hispanic, look at their profiles. Keep it simple. Let him know you want to be domestic. You want to be a wife. You want to be a girlfriend. You want to be a better half. Y'all on there with Black Lives Matter fists, talking about no justice, no peace, and take me out? Are you crazy? What's your idea of a perfect? My idea of a perfect date is getting up, going to brunch, endless mimosas, then going to a Black Lives rally march, then meeting up after that, then going to dinner. No, man, he ain't gonna do it. So I'm just letting y'all know why y'all ain't getting picked. That's why y'all ain't getting picked. So my advice to you all is, fix your profile, Go look at the white women, because they got to, trust me, the white women had the dating profiles mastered. You'd ought to see a white woman literally feeding the hungry children in Guam, literally feeding the hungry children in Guam, in her garden working, in the kitchen cooking, and you might see her fixing her car in the driveway. That's the white woman's profile. Y'all on there, pictures with, man, come on. Let's continue.
In the Black space, we have these conversations, but I think I'm in the Black space. Has been colorism. As a Black woman, one of the most integral parts of the beauty conversation has been colorism. I'm a dark-skinned Black woman, proud of it and proud of being myself. For the most part, I did not. Why am I going to cry about this? I did not grow up thinking I was beautiful because I was that. And I think in the Black space, we have these conversations, but I think I'm glad to bring it up, because I think feminists actually really should be part of the colorism topic, because colorism is not just shades within being Black. It's shades because the beauty standard is the closer to whiteness you are, the more beautiful you are. I think it's something that
So my question is, if the closer to whiteness would mean the more beautiful you are, then why is it the same for Black men? Have you really heard Black men complaining about the colorism thing, honestly? So if what she's saying is true, then why isn't it the same when it comes to Black men? Why don't Black men echo her sentiments? Why don't Black men have these problems? Let Black men tell it. They the most desired men on the planet. So why do Black men have the world as their oyster with women, but Black women are stuck in this small little box? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. The reason why these Black women are suffering in dating, the reason why Black is not because of how they look. That ain't the issue. The issue is when you open your mouth, how you carry yourself. All that ratchet Cardi B stuff, twerking, that stuff is not appealing to them, to most men. It's just not. Somebody said it's her weight. Yes, it's her weight. 81% of Black women are overweight, obese, out of shape. 81%. That is an epidemic in the Black community with Black women. Most men don't want women bigger than them. I'm sorry. Y'all get mad at Kevin Samuels. He was right. Most men don't want women bigger than them. I'm sorry. I weigh 210. I weigh 210. If I get a girl and she's 215, she's 215, how tall would she have to be? How tall? So again, this is the devil's trick and tactic. It's getting you to self-indulge. It's getting you to think about me, how I look. So now you focus on everything that's carnal and fleshly, looking at yourself instead of focusing on what God wants. This is what Satan wants. For your whole life to be hung up on how you look. If you never saw, if there was no mirrors around, if there was no mirrors, and there was no way to see yourself, how would you feel about yourself? How would you feel then? It would only be based on how folks interacted with you. And I can guarantee All that black girl magic stuff is not a pleasant attitude for a man to experience. It's just not. You walk and tell him you a queen. He's like, who are you? She's not, and the crazy part is, she's not ugly at all. Think about it. Most people are not ugly. This is foolishness. Most people are not ugly. When you see somebody ugly, you be like, oh, they ugly. Like, it shocks you. Most people are just all right, average, cute, and going up. When a person's actually ugly, it actually shocks you because you rarely see it. You rarely see somebody just ugly. Let's continue.
More people in different shades, particularly white women, because of knowing that standard, and we work shade closer to whiteness you are, the more beautiful you are. I think there again, the beauty standard is the closer to whiteness you are, the more beautiful you are. I think it's something that if more people in different shades, particularly white women, because of knowing that standard, and we work together on that, then we have a lot, I think, something we can unify on, but also something that we can make strides in right now that I'm just not seeing. And it's only, again, that's why people feel like you have to be a black feminist, because it's a topic that only really black feminists are talking about because it deals with being black.
She just said black about 20 times. Now, here goes the problem. You want white women to do what? Partner with you and do what? Make men like you? Make men want to date you? What do you want white women to do? What do you want white women to do? Because you're not going to follow their blueprint. As soon as the white woman says, okay, girl, do this, this, and this, you're going to say no. You ain't. So what you want white women to do? You ain't going to listen to them. What do y'all want white women to do? The white women got a window, 18 to 30. They got 12 years. Y'all working on 30 years. They working on 12. What do y'all want white women to do for y'all? To do what? What does she want? How can you think if they put all black folks on TV, it's going to make everybody want to be with black women? This is the notion. Is that if you put all these black women on TV, because really at the core of it, black women are complaining about not being desired by all the races of men. That's what they're complaining about. Because black men desire them. As I've said, too many baby mamas and too many abortions for it to be otherwise. So black men desire black women. That is what they're complaining about. They want all the race of men to desire them. Again, ego, narcissism. So my question is, what do you want these white women to do? Most of y'all grew up in a single parent household. Most of y'all culturally don't respect men. So what do y'all want white women to do? Oh, I know what you want them to do. Give their spot up. You want white women to give their spot up. That's what you want. Y'all done gas these white women's heads up so much. You got the woman on here that's overweight with no legs and no hands saying she got privilege. You should be insulted and disgusted by that. She got privilege over you and she can't even walk or grab something. And I'm not making fun. I'm just saying that's how extreme it is. That she says she has a privilege. It's too much. What's up, Sonia? This girl that said black, 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 black. What do you want white women to do? White women are out there fighting against abortion. They fighting against these liberals. They fighting against this snake bite. I see white women doing a lot. What else y'all want them to do? They cater to y'all. They pandering to y'all on both. You got the conservative white woman fighting against Klaus Schwab. You got the liberal white woman feeding y'all ego. What else y'all want to do? It's too much. Yeah, Oprah talk about white folks got privilege. Oprah, you are a billion. If America was racist, when Oprah first got on TV, Oprah was 350 pounds and had a jerry curl. Oprah was on national TV with her own show. She was 350 with a curl. There's no way in the world, she looked like Luther Vandross. There's no way America could have been racist if Oprah at 350 with a curl and dark skin had her own show. It's impossible. It's impossible. Oprah had the #1 talk show. It's impossible. These are lies. 350 with a curl. And the whole audience is white women captivated by her speaking. And you're telling me America's racist. It doesn't even make any sense. Let's continue.
How do beauty standards make you feel, Morris?
I mean, kind of what you're saying, Antonia, as a Black Latina woman in my community, right? Like, I grew up and I was ugly, right? Like, that's what I was considered. I was not considered beautiful, of feeling ugly, but also being told I was, right?
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local
a lot to do with what is believed in my community, right? Colorism is one of them. And so to say, I'm gonna redefine beauty for myself, and to say, I own myself, and I get to decide what's beautiful, right? And I get to decide what I wanna wear and how I wanna wear it. And I don't need to, right? It's almost a repelling, right? Like, I'm like, no, you know what? I am beautiful. I'm gonna do what I wanna do, and I'm gonna feel myself, because if no one else is gonna feel me, it's on me to feel me too.
I gotta say though, I did grow.
And see, there's no way, again, if I go to this girl's past, she done had countless of boyfriends, countless of relationships, countless of loves and heartbreaks, countless of... Why they get on these shows and lie, man? Girl, ain't nobody calling you ugly, girl. Everybody get called ugly when they kids. That's life. Everybody gets called ugly when they're young. Come on, why we gotta do this? Cause you a Black Latina. You ain't special. You know how many fine Black Latinas there are out there? Latinas. Cause you a Black Latina, you have it bad. That's a lie. Why these folks gotta do this? Why they gotta cap? Why they gotta do this? Why they gotta do it? Like she got a wedding ring on too, an engagement ring or something she got on her hand. I'm trying to hear this girl, man. Nobody picking on y'all. Listen, man, these are lies. I done seen the most undesirable women have boyfriends, and I done seen it. Listen, man. This is BS. This is BS. Because I'm a Black Latina. And you ain't even, and this what kill it, right? You ain't even, like, you ain't even remotely ugly though. This is just it's just so much. It's just cap. That's all. Let's continue. And now the one with no arms and no hands and no legs. Now she about to talk about something. Let's go.
Grow up being referred to as very beautiful. Grow up being referred to as... I gotta say though, I did grow up being referred to as very beautiful for a woman with a disability. And that to me always fed this idea that disability doesn't mean beautiful. I am in some form of exceptionalism, which I then had to keep up with forever. So it's like, I got this thought as I started to age, like, you can have no legs, but you better not fucking get fat. And so this idea that like, there are certain people who are beautiful and certain people who aren't, and that inherently holds value is, I think, you know, find it in yourself, yes. And
Jordan?
Beauty standards are...
Listen, you have no legs and no hands. You are an anomaly. If someone tells you that you're beautiful for a person with no arms and no legs, I think it's a compliment. I'm sorry. You got a lot going on, and somebody can still recognize your beauty. Man, she ain't ugly now. She's overweight, but she ain't ugly now. That's what I'm saying. Most people aren't ugly. They're just not. When somebody's ugly, it's a shock to you. You see them. Even when a baby, you ever see a baby that wasn't cute? I remember I saw D Wade and Gabrielle's baby. They baby looked like she was about 36 years old. Like the baby had an old face. It's shocking. The baby ain't ugly, but the baby looked old. It's shocking. The baby had an old face and an old spirit. The baby looked kind of like Harriet Tubman. The baby looked older, but it's a shock. So when folks are ugly, it's shocking. This notion that people, no, this is BS. These beauty standards will be here regardless. Because beauty is really based on facial. Listen, they've ran these tests with babies. This ain't. Why we acting brand new? You put the baby in front of them. You put a ugly person in front of a baby, it's gonna cry. It's gonna cry. Y'all know Gabrielle Union and D Wade's baby look old. She look like she about 47. Y'all know that baby look old. Not saying the baby is ugly, but the baby looked old. The baby, okay, my bad, not old. The baby looked matured. The baby looked aged. Let's continue. Now we're about to have the Transformer speech. So now you got a panel full of women, and you got the trans. Now listen, the irony of this whole thing is the person that's actually unattractive is the person about to speak now. The irony of all of this is the person that is actually unattractive on this panel is the person about to speak now. Listen, y'all acting brand new. Y'all know D Wade and Gabrielle baby look old. Why? Don't do that to me, y'all. Y'all know that baby look old. Stop. Let's continue.
Toxic bullshit hierarchical nonsense. And I say that as someone who has spent over a year collectively of my life in eating disorder institutions, because I have tried to put my body through hellish things to meet these beauty standards, which more often than not are not based in reality. They're typically trends. They're created to push things. They're extremely useful for marketing, but they don't serve anyone's health. They don't serve anyone's self-esteem. They only act to try and tell us that there's a allegedly right way to have a body. And if you don't occupy that space and have that body, then you're a piece of shit, which is absolute nonsense.
I don't care what nobody says. Everybody has an ideal body in their mind. And most folks' ideal body ain't the body they got right now. This Transformer is on here talking about it's all BS. You know why? Because 99% of men don't want to be with him. Now, there's some Transformers that are able to transform and become Decepticons for real, and they look like a woman. At least their face looks like a woman. This guy look like old boy from, what's the dude name from Family Guy? The dad from Family Guy. He look like him. And now he want to get rid of all the standards so he can flourish. He want to get rid of all the standards so now he can rise up when there's no standards. Notice that all these folks want to get rid of standards so they can reign supreme. Nah, we got standards. You overweight and hold on. You overweight. Yeah, that's his name, Peter Griffin. You look like Peter Griffin with a wig on, and you want to get rid of no, we ain't getting rid of nothing. Man, we gotta up the standards for you. We gotta up the standards for you.
And there are way too many women and men in the world who end up doing terrible things to themselves because they fall into this trap of thinking that you have to be this way. And if you aren't this way, then there's something inherently wrong at your core, which is nonsense.
And then he said he was in eating disorder clinics. The problem is you didn't stay. This is my issue. In order for this stuff to work, people, you got to actually finish the program. He said I spent a year total of my life, so that means he done been to 12 institutions for 1 month apiece. He said he went for a total of a year through his life. That means he wasn't really going. That means he's going there for a small amount of time and leave out. Come on, man. You mean to tell me you want to be able to look like Peter Griffin, be overweight, not be cute. What? What world we living in? No, man, no. They got this guy on the panel with women speaking like he got a real voice. Every woman on this panel should tell him to shut up. Because if it was me talking, y'all would have told me to shut up. If I came in that room and said, listen, y'all look good, stop tripping, get in the gym, change your profile, you'll be all right. Y'all have told me to shut up. But Peter Griffin get to talk, everybody, he got a captivated audience. And you know he got a bad shape. You know he's shaped like a plumber. He got a plumber's body, look like Peter Griffin, but don't want no standards. Let's continue.
Perfect the way you are. That's literally, you're perfect the way you are. And if you aren't this way, then there's something inherently wrong at your core, which is nonsense. You're perfect the way you are. That's literally the core of it. You are perfect the way you are.
You are not perfect the way you are, people, because you can always be better. You can always be better. This is what I'm talking about. You can always improve yourself. You can always get better. What you mean perfect the way you are? You ain't, man, you built, no. And the irony is, out of all these women talking, the guy on the panel says the most egregious stuff of all. And he got a captivating audience. Right, Sonya, if you perfect, why you transitioning? Why you mashing up hormones in your oatmeal? Why? This is foolish. Letting this man speak on this panel. Man, this is foolish.
And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is feeding into this industry and is just, they are not your friend or looking out for you.
Layla?
Oh, yeah.
Before I get to Layla, somebody said he built like a truck. Right. If he was a transformer, he'd be a truck. You know, the Transformers be like, you know, he'd do two and roll out. He built like a dump truck. Come on, man. He got two and he wrote. Come on, man. This is too much, man. They got a man on the panel talking about get rid of standards so he can thrive. No. We need more standards. No, he ain't Optimus Prime. No. Optimus Prime real. He ain't Optimus Prime He ain't Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime rib, side of mashed potatoes, extra gravy. Let's continue.
I was gonna say,
I'm just gonna click random stuff and something I'm sure is gonna come to me because that's what I love about this kit.
yeah, beauty in the industry is exploitative, but also we have to remember a lot of the beauty standards are based around health, what's perceived as health, like symmetry, certain weights, things like that. So there is that side where we have to balance it, and I think we're seeing so much more representation, which I think is incredibly important.
Well, I just think that like, if women really cared about beauty standards, like the obesity rate wouldn't be what it is.
But what
Let's
about
try
you?
to attain the beauty standards. I just think like some people are more attractive, some people are less attractive, and that's just, where would I rate myself 1 to 10?
Oh, we're not rating. It's okay.
That's what I mean. Like, I just think like some people are more attractive.
So if you are overweight, you don't care.
Now, Layla said, look, we can't go to the extreme of no standards because a lot of these things are based on health, symmetry. So, again, Layla came with some logic. Then Pearl say, listen, I think some folks just are more attractive than others of life. Here go the girl, what about you? So we got Black Latina, we got Black Girl Magic, and they on here feeling some type of way like they was getting picked on in school their whole life. And it's not true. It's just not true. Guess what, people? There's good-looking people and there's not good-looking people. That's just life. This whole notion that it's this system controlling who looks good and who doesn't, who succeeds, is foolish. It's your job to be the best version of yourself. It's your job. So guess what? If you believe that you being overweight is a problem, then you should lose weight. If you believe that you having darker skin is causing you problems, then bleach your skin. What you may tell you? If you believe that guys aren't going after you because of the way you look, then change the way you look. That's the only advice I have for you. But I'm gonna venture to say this. It's not based on how y'all look. It's when you open your mouth. I just sat there and watched y'all let this transformer speak. That's the problem.
About beauty standards.
Well,
is that
because
right?
like the point is that the beauty standard is thin, right?
Your standard?
But obesity comes from men and women, though.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. But I'm saying if women really wanted to fit the beauty standard, they would be thin.
I know. I just, from my experience as well, is growing up again in a mostly white neighborhood but I was always comparing myself to literally other people who have a different body type, but I was considered other or to something because it didn't conform to that body type. When that same body type became popular with Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, who are different, right?
I gotta go, y'all, but I'm gonna finish this point. Listen, I'm gonna come back to this video, but I gotta go. So basically what she's saying is that she's overweight, she's plus size. And she's saying, and now this is what a lot of black women do, they've taken the word thick and they've expanded it to be a broader definition. When I was coming up, thick meant you was thick with a body. Now thick is something else. Now the Transformers saying they thick. So she's saying that she grew up with a bunch of white kids, or white people, I'm assuming, and then she was comparing herself to folk with different body type. Okay, so again, I guarantee if I go to her home and I observe what she eats, I guarantee you're going to see why she's this size. Nothing in nature is big that doesn't eat. Nothing. Elephants are big because they eat a lot. Whales are big because they eat a lot of plankton. There is nothing on the planet that's big. Gorillas, hippopotamus, there's nothing that's big that doesn't eat a lot. So the notion that you're just big because you're big is foolish. Because if I starve you, if I don't feed you, you're going to get thin. If I starve you, you're going to get thin. So this notion that you're just big because you got the bad roll of the dice is foolish. Right. Nobody is big boned. Nobody's big boned. Well, I'm picking large mammals. You can look at look at a big seal. Any animal that's big eats to sustain the body weight. This notion that black women are big due to genetics is foolish. Thank you, Walter Walker. So at the end of the day, I'm going to end on this. You are not larger because of genetics. You are larger because of your diet. Now, there are certain body types that do gain weight in other areas. So it is your job to not feed those areas. And again, black women don't go to the gym. And this young lady right here, I guarantee she don't go to the gym. So you're comparing yourself to white girls growing up with that was probably athletes and cheerleaders. White women don't go home. They wasn't going home eating neck bones and pork chops. They don't eat like that. I'm sorry. They don't eat hot wings every day. They don't eat like that. I'm sorry. Big Mama and them did a number on y'all. The food tasted good, but it was high in cholesterol and fat. So this notion that the white women had different body types there's plenty of big white women too. You sitting next to one. The irony of you talking about white women, you sitting next to a big white girl. Now granted, she ain't got no legs and no fingers, but you still sitting next to her. So what I'm telling you is that, again, this is cultural. It's not racial. It's cultural. They're getting you to believe that your greatest achievement, being black, is also your greatest detriment. The devil has you in a constant spiral of confusion. My greatest achievement is my black skin. It ain't even black. And my downfall is my black skin is not even black. You can never see God through that fall. You will never know God. It's confusion. Thank you, Rico, for the super sticker. It's a lie. It's due to poor diets passed down by other unhealthy big women in their family. Plus, they don't work out. 100% correct. They don't work out. So at the end of the day, what Pearl said was right. Y'all are complaining about something, but if you really cared about it, you would be thin. You would work out. You don't really care. What y'all want is for folks to conform to you. All the studies throughout the past said obesity leads to early death. There's a show called My 600-Pound Life. And he tells them the same thing every time. You're not going to make it past this age. But society's telling you you can be that big and it's okay. So the doctor that made a whole career off of telling women that obesity is going to kill you, and then society's telling you, oh, it's racism. Kim Kardashian's body type was an anomaly because it was imitating a black woman's body. It was a shock because we weren't used to seeing a white woman with a body like that, even though it's bought and paid for, we weren't used to seeing it. So that's more shock value than it is just because it's on a white woman. Cardi B gets celebrated. Meg Thee Stallion gets celebrated. Nicki Minaj gets celebrated. All of them get celebrated. Black women get celebrated. So this notion that Kim Kardashian is getting it, no, what you're really saying is we want to do what she did and get successful. Y'all ain't got her mama. Y'all ain't got her marketing team. Y'all ain't got her access in Hollywood. A lot of factors y'all missing to be like, quote unquote, Kim Kardashian, if she's the comparison. Amber Rose, same thing. These women are standing out because they're anomalies. You don't see it all the time. It's shock value. That's right. Kim Kardashian had a small waist. She tiny in real life. In real life, Kim Kardashian is tiny. So this girl on here, she's a bigger girl. I'm not saying she can't be big and beautiful. I'm just saying you don't have Kim Kardashian's fake body type. Because you got a big waist too. You got big legs. I'm looking at you. You ain't a small girl. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But you ain't like Kim K. But you ain't like Kim K. And it's sad that this young lady is actually a beautiful girl. She got a beautiful smile. But she gonna diminish herself and dim her light because somebody done told her. Didn't nobody white tell her this. Somebody black told her that she didn't measure up. And it's sad. It's disgusting. Somebody black told this beautiful girl that you're not going to meet the beauty standard. Who said she had to? See, in all actuality, we got to be beautiful to our mate, our husband or our wife. We ain't got to be beautiful to the world. That's the problem. These women want to be universally beautiful to everybody. That's called vanity, narcissism. Love yourself because God made you. You done spent your whole life comparing yourself to white girls just to get on national TV and break down and crying because you don't love yourself, because you lied to yourself. You done spent your whole life not being who you really were. Because I know what you was trying to do. You were trying to fit in and be white instead of just being yourself. I can tell. You was trying to fit in and be white instead of being yourself. Listen, I love y'all. I will be back tomorrow. I got to go to the gym, y'all. I'm sorry. I love y'all, though. Time got away from me. But I will be back earlier tomorrow, and I will finish this segment up. But I thank y'all, and I love y'all so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Ooh. Almost forgot. Deshawnay, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank y'all so much for being so kind and so wonderful, even listening and breaking bread. Yeah, her mom probably told her this. It's sad, and it's just sad because now she got a complex, and it's gonna take God to fix it. Because now she gonna have to find value into something that ain't man-made. Because it's already, what she's found value in is already damaged. She had to turn to God. It's sad. But anyway, thank you so much, Deshawnay, for the super sticker. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much.